Welcome everybody to my Pokemon Crystal walkthrough. I'm your host, DeoGenZ, and let's get this thing started. Okay, starting off, what gender am I? I am a boy, or a man, some may say. And this is my absolute favorite Pokemon game. No, scratch that. My absolute favorite game of all time. And also in my walkthrough/LP history, it's the first English walkthrough of a Pokemon game that I've ever done. So I thought for my first, I should really make it special. So I'm going to be doing Pokemon Crystal. Now you'll understand later on throughout this walkthrough as I share many gleaming past stories of childhood goodness about this game and myself. You'll understand why it's my favorite later on. But right now we are starting a brand new journey. And I want to tell you guys, this is going to be quite the journey. You've already seen that I have a new intro, which I've never done before, so I'm testing that out. Please leave comments on what you think about it. And also there are some other treats in this walkthrough that will be very good for you. And I will just say this. This will be the most absolute informational walkthrough that I've ever done so far. So I just realized we have the power to have lowercase letters. And voila, since I am playing the English version of a game for once, I can spell out my full name, DeoGenZ. By the way, that's my name. And if you're wondering why my channel's name is different from my actual name, well, it's a long story and just PM me about it later. Okay, are you ready? Your very own Pokemon story is about to unfold. You'll face fun times and tough challenges. A world of dreams and adventures with Pokemon awaits. I'll be seeing you later. Okay guys, we are here. We are in our new home in New Bark Town. And for my first anecdote of the past, those steps right there, well, that was the most difficult thing for me in the beginning when I was still just a gaming noob. I kept my finger on the up directional pad, and I kept cycling through the steps. I couldn't understand how to get out of my room. So, funny little story there. Everybody starts out as a noob, and I just got my Pokemon gear. It is essential if we want to be good trainers. Because, you know, we can get people's phone numbers, listen to the radio, important trainer stuff. I say it plays more of a role in the remakes of the Johto region than it does in this game. Although you can get some very handy items from registering certain people's phone numbers, which we will be going over in time. So if you didn't know, I will tell you this. I actually have gotten to this spot where I am today because of Pokemon Crystal. It's funny to say, but it's true. Pokemon Crystal was the game that got me into video games overall, and more importantly into Pokemon. You see, in my family, Pokemon was a bit taboo when it first started out. You know, people getting beat up and all over trades and bullshit like that. So naturally, my protective parents said no dice, but I opposed their wrath and underground collected Pokemon and different sorts of things, kind of trying to decode what it was all about. It was more than just the latest thing to do. It was quite the obsession for me. And when my grandfather got me a Game Boy Advance, which was my first handheld system, along with Pokemon Crystal, it was a revolutionary experience. So now, talking about other revolutionary experiences, let's get our first Pokemon in the Johto region here. Professor Elm says that he has some things for us to research for him, and that he needs our help. So he's going to lend us one of the Pokemon that he recently caught. And I just gotta say, where did he ever find a Cyndaquil, Totodile, and Chikorita? I have scoured Johto, Kanto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, and yes, even the Isu region, which is now, of course, called the Unova region, but back in the day it was called Isu, rather back in Japan, and I have not found any patch of grass that could actually hold these starter Pokemon. So I always wondered where Professor Elm got these Pokemon. And he's not the only one who's wondering. As you saw back there, we got kind of bumped out of the way. I mean, bumped is a light term, but bammed and slammed out of the way of that red-headed dude who's staring in the window. So maybe he too wonders where Professor Elm got these super rare Pokemon. but we will be able to choose one. So let's see what our first partner will be. This is Cyndaquil, known as the fastest way to get through the game. He's a fire Pokemon, and I want to think this over carefully. I want to see what other options we have. Totodile, the power hitter, medium speed if you want to beat the game. And what I mean by medium speed is that these starter Pokemon all have a certain easy difficulty status attached to them, and Chikorita is the hardest to use. And the reason for that is the layout of the gyms and the trainers that you face along the way. It depends what chances you have to raise which Pokemon. I, however, will be starting out with Cyndaquil, because when I first got Pokemon Crystal, Cyndaquil was my partner, and for nostalgia's sakes, I'm getting him back. Now, back in the day, I didn't really used to nickname Pokemon, so I'm going to keep Cyndaquil's name the same, but I will be nicknaming other Pokemon down the line, so don't worry, some funny nicknames will be coming. But I'm going to keep my main partner's name the same. And now we got Professor Elm's number, just in case we need to give him a jingle. Report on how our Cyndaquil is doing. Yep, so the three classes of difficulty, Cyndaquil would be the easiest, Totodile medium, and Chikorita the hardest to raise. And like I said, I'm just going for nostalgia's sake here. I love Cyndaquil, and I love his final evolution form, which you probably all know by now, but I'll keep a secret for later. And you know what? Maybe when we take a trip back to the Johto region in the future, I'll use Chikorita. It's not for any lack of skill, but for my Pokemon Crystal walkthrough, I want to keep things nostalgicized. That's why y'all noticed on the borders, probably, that it's all the original Crystal background artwork, along with the sprites of the original Crystal Pokemon, because I'm trying to keep it all in the same theme. So, as such, I probably won't be mentioning the Heart Gold, Soul Silver remakes of the Johto region as much. So, if you want to play those games and follow along, I suggest going to my Heart Gold walkthrough. But I am not going to be doing any kind of comparisons. I mean, I may mention some things that I find funny that they changed, or maybe left the same and could have changed, but other than that, you're not really going to have a complete walkthrough for both of those games in this one, only because since I am a Pokemon walkthrough person mainly, and that was a hoot hoot, don't need to see another one of those, since I mainly do Pokemon walkthroughs, eventually I will get to Soul Silver. So there's no need for me to cover it now. So with that out of the way and hoot hoot out of the way, be funny if we found hoot hoot that early. Now we can continue onwards to Cherry Grove City. And that route back there was Route 46. And I know we are on 29 right now and getting off, but you could actually go to 46 for some training. You can't scour the whole route. And the first thing you want to do in Cherry Grove City is talk to this guy. He knows that we're obviously rookie trainers, and back in the day I certainly was a rookie trainer, and I was like, how did you know? But now I gawk at his calling me a rookie trainer because I am quite the Pokemaster. So here's the Pokemon Center. That is very vital, and probably won't be seen very much in this walkthrough because I'll be cutting out Pokemon Center visits, unless it is a vital visit. Here is the market, which for you guys, you can see right on the sidebar on the border that I have so handily put the Pokemon Mart's contents. So you can see real quick what is in the Pokemart without even having to go in. And the prices too. Just another one of those added informational bonuses that is going to make this walkthrough so much better than my lasts. But we all go through a constant evolution process, I like to believe, so it's only getting better all the time. And here's his house. He thanks us for his company. And as a gift, we get a map card. Man, I wish I could get map cards from old guys all the time. Seriously, I go hanging around people and they're sitting on benches looking into the sky and I'm saying, hey, I'll keep you company, but only if you give me a map. And then they look at me and hit me with their cane and run away. So, on the next episode, we'll be traveling up Route 30.